Hello and welcome to the Philippines. We're going to take a look at some townhouses today, renting in the Philippines. Of course, you could probably offer to buy one of these as well. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about what you get. You get unfurnished, furnished. What are the furnishings? What is it? What are they like? What do you? What are some of the things to be careful of? Some of the problems and issues that you might have. And then we're going to take a short little Trisicad right after this, show you how we get in and out of this section of Cebu City. Anyway, John from Phil's to Phoenix YouTube channel invited me over there for a baby christening. Him and Cindy had a baby, and we were there for a christening. And if you want to see his place that he rented, I think he had a 3-bedroom. You can go to his channel and check that out. He's showing me there were a couple of townhouses right next door to his unit that were open, vacant. And I'll tell you why they're vacant as we go along here. And these are basically furnished. And one thing you find out is what you think is fully furnished, what somebody else thinks is fully furnished, can be two completely different things. They can be furnished with very nice furniture and everything that you could possibly need, or it could be very bare furnishings and very cheap furnishings. So anyway, you've got some window air conditioners in each and every one of the rooms, I believe, pretty much. I think his 3-bedroom, I think he said he was paying 35,000 pesos a month. And that was, let's see, 35,000, that would be about 700 US dollars at 50 pesos to the US dollar. One of the issues here with and these are relatively new units, number of years old, but not very old actually, and is that, and he told me, I think they have water tanks on the roof in the upper areas, and you pump water up there, and then you have water pressure coming down, right? That is the principle. That is the theory in theory. But what he told me, even in his 3-bedroom unit, is that he would just get a trickle of water coming out of the shower on the second floor. That if he wanted, and it wasn't enough for the water heater to heat, and so he would get a cool shower, which some of these warm days it can be actually refreshing. But if you want a hot shower, you want a hot shower. You don't want cold water trickling down on you. And we'll go look at the second unit here, furnished a little bit differently, and I'll point out a few things in there. Pretty nice carport area, pretty decent size, and some relatively nice furnishings. Of course, we all have different ideas about what nice is, but pretty clean units. And my understanding is one of these I'm showing you had a really good corporate tenant in there, and you got a little bit of a patio out here, so you could eat out there. I believe they've got a dirty kitchen on the outside, maybe in the back. Not real positive. Anyway, got walls all the way around. That's one thing, living in a walled gated community. I like I've lived in 5 different condominiums, 6. And anyway, some really nice cupboard space there. A lot of kitchen cupboard space, something that I miss in the condominiums I live in. They're just as they're lacking. They're lacking in cupboard space. And about 10 years ago, they started downsizing condominiums. So you get your choices. You can find older, nicer condominiums that have larger units, but you do have to look around to find those. And okay, here out in this area, you've got what would be, you could use that as a dirty kitchen. Put your little stove out there, and it's open to the outside. And another CR. Little room could be a Is that a massage table or hospital table of some sort? Could be a maid's room. Oftentimes, if you have more than 2 bedrooms, there will be a maid's room designed in as well. So if you are looking for a townhouse or a house, I would suggest check the water pressure up and down if you've got a 2-story, 3-story. Check those types of things. Have an app on your phone to check the cell phone internet speed. There are a number of apps that you can use to do that in the area. We had Super Typhoon Odette, international name Rai, come through here December 16th and 17th last year, and we didn't have internet for about 2.5 months, and then it came on for a couple weeks, and now it's been off again with Sky Cable. I don't know what they're doing, but they cannot keep it up. It's been off for over a week this time. And one thing I've noticed, a lot of these air conditioner units, wall units, nobody puts any insulation around the sides, so you inadvertently have a lot of warm air, or your cold air going out, or warm air coming in at the cracks around the air conditioners. And you've got a little bit of a balcony. Not a lot, enough to stand out there, barely. I think one of these units, they were getting 45,000, I think he said. Larger square footage. And it was corporate account, and they just finally gave up. They couldn't get the water issue corrected, repaired, apparently. But there are many of these types of small little developments, townhouse developments. You might get a single detached house among them as well as many newer and larger developments. I've done over 1,000 videos. I've done lots of videos of condominiums and some of subdivisions, housing units, what you get, what they cost to rent, what they cost to buy. So check out the rest of my videos. I've done cost of living videos. That is a water heater hooked up there. And what he's telling me is they could have easily hooked it up to the sink as well, but they don't oftentimes, and that's been my experience. They only hook it up to the shower. And so generally in the kitchen also, you generally do not have hot water at your kitchen sink. And you only have it in the shower. I think I've rented one at Persimmon Condominiums, and the Australian owner actually piped it. So I did have hot water at the kitchen, or at the bathroom sink. Don't think I had it at the kitchen sink. If you want to know more about these units, the neighborhood, John, there again from Phil's to Phoenix YouTube channel, he's done a number of things. We're going to look at his, take a quick look at his. He bought a nice looking, what they call it, multi-cab, and he's got some interesting information about his experience buying that. He bought a Rusi 250, and when he moved back, he sold that to me, gave me a really, really good deal. And so that's what I'm riding now. Not so much in town, but I'll use it to get out of town. I've done a couple videos with that. And a little bit bigger balcony in this unit here. One thing about mattresses, just foam rubber mattresses are very, very common here. They're less expensive than the spring type, and a lot of people you'll go in and that's what you're offered. That's what you get. So if you want something, a very nice size balcony set up here. That is his yellow multi-cab down there, and we'll take a little closer look at it when we get down there. Noise, I did notice when we were there occasionally, and I think it was the Tricycat drivers. Kind of a dead-end road here, which can be nice because you don't get a lot of traffic noise, but I think it was the Tricycat drivers or somebody across the street would crank up the music or wasn't really music, it was more like noise, but it came out of came out of some sort of speaker. Anyway, he's got some interesting stories. That was a learning experience for him. Anyway, we went out. We could have walked a ways, but I said, no, let's take the Triscat driver. And I don't know if it was 20 pesos a piece, something like that, about 40 US cents a piece. I think I probably tipped him as well. I generally do. These guys work pretty hard, but all around here you can see you've got apartment buildings, might be apartments, might be condominiums, not positive. But this is how you get in and out of these places. And people ask me, how do I find the better, cheaper priced units? There again, another little apartment type setup, it looks like. You ask around, you ask the locals, they network, Filipinos network. They know people who have places for rent, places for sale, places, a truck that can move your goods and provide you with services if you need an electrician. If you find an area of town that you think you might want to move into, it's good to visit there in the evening as well, see what the noise is like a couple different times during the week and weekends. A lot of times you will see there will be signs on these poles, telephone poles and such. House for rent, room for rent, bed spacer, lady only. Bed spacer, the term bed spacer conjures up some interesting thoughts. This area is actually not too far from the capital type area, up in the uptown area of Cebu City. And it cost me less than 100 pesos, less than $2 to take a taxi from where I live in the uptown area up into this area. A couple other things you want to ask about when you're looking to move into an area. Water would be very important. We've had a couple droughts, 2015 and 2019. There were parts of town that had to ship water in. And people had to get up early in the morning and go out and meet the water truck. Hopefully the water truck actually showed up. And so you want to know if they've had any issues with water. They're putting in more deep wells. Over the next few years, they're going to put in desalination plants around here that will help. But anyway, that's a problem you need to deal with. But what about brownouts? There are some parts of the city very seldom get brownouts. I think in the newer areas that I live in the newer condominiums, one reason I didn't experience too many brownouts, or if we had a brownout, but blackout, no electricity, they didn't last usually very much longer than like 1 hour or less. And we're coming up to the main road out here. Anyway, check out my other videos, and anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride. We're going to get off here and take care.